and it is the last day of the year. So I've made this channel since August, and my little series of my piano insights, where I don't really include me actually playing yet. I've said a lot of advices and a lot of insights that mean a lot to me. But let me see if I can break down the top 3 advices and tips you want to take to 2026. This is Piat's Piano Playing, and today we're going to discuss what tips you want to take to 2026. First of all, the first tip is I made a video about patience and structure. So let me bring that up again. Whenever you're practicing the piano, just like anything in life, you want to take your time. You want to do things slowly at first, and then progressively and gradually speed up the process. Many students that I have the habit of wanting to play fast, and it is a frustrating thing because we are living in a world where technology is, ever so. Wait, let me say that again. So we're living in a world where technology is actually speeding up the process of getting what we want and closing the gap to that. So it's actually training our thinking in reality of getting things so quickly. We go to dating apps, we go to food apps, we go to product apps, you know which ones I'm talking about, and we get things really quickly. And for a lot of children that are growing up with screens all over the place, and there's iPad babies even in the generation Alpha, we are training ourselves to get our rewards immediately, instant gratification. So in 2026, you want to be aware of this, and you want to make things a lot slower for your own benefit. What does this mean? You want your hands you want to perceive your hands like athletes. And whenever you're at the gym or anything like that, anything that's physical, you don't sporadically just start moving fast and doing fast reps on exercises and all that. You have to warm up. You have to do things slowly at first, and you have to progressively build up your speed and agility and whatever weight you're lifting in terms of the gym. So when you're on piano, if you find yourself playing a song that's really fast, don't just jump in there and try to play it as fast as possible. You want to slow the process down, and even breaking down the subdivisions, say from 16 notes to 8 notes, or from 8 notes to quarter notes. That way your hands can get a chance to actually learn the techniques and the flow, the rhythmic flow of whatever song or exercises you're implementing. If you force yourself to play fast immediately, and this is very common, so don't take this to 2026, give your hands the chance to slowly progress. There's a saying in the gym world, I think it was Tom Platz, the Waterfather, who said, don't ever sacrifice form and technique for weight. Meaning that you don't want to ego lift, you'll hurt yourself and get injured, and you grow no muscle. Same thing in piano playing. Don't ever sacrifice form and technique for speed. Everybody wants to play fast, but you're not going to be able to play fast if you don't first learn how to play slowly and organized in an organized manner. So in 2026, be patient and add structure to your practice. The second tip I want you to take over to 2026 is, and this is very important to me, is the metronome. Use the metronome. It surprises me so much how many people don't use the metronome or even hate it. I understand why, because every metronome is defaulted to 120 beats per minute, 4/4. This means that the pace of the metronome is just slightly faster than naturally it feels like. And then you have a bell beat, the little ring that rotates every 3 beats, making it the first beat out of 4 beats when you hear the bell beat. This is really annoying for anyone that does not know how to modify the metronome. So I understand why a lot of people don't like the metronome. It distracts them from their actual playing. But there are many ways of modifying the metronome for your own benefit. If you Google metronome right there and then, the metronome will be already defaulted to 100 beats per minute and there's no bell beat. So the quickest thing you can do is go to Google, search metronome, and just click play, and there you have it. Start practicing with the metronome. If you want to get more advanced, you want to download the metronome app that I mentioned in my metronome video, where you have 3 features that you can use to your advantage. You have the time signatures on the bottom left, you have the tempo where you can slide its speed in the center top, and then you have the subdivisions, which is really important when you want to play actually fast but in an organized manner, where you can hear the subdivisions of 16ths, 8th notes, and triplets, and a few more, I think. So use the metronome, take it over to 2026, don't ever stop using it, take it to all the years that follow after next year. That's pretty much it for the metronome. Use it, okay? The third and most important advice, tips that I've given in my little series of my piano insights is to, well, I have to slow down for this one, because when I practice, and I'm gonna say it, scales. Practice scales. Scales is the blood that flows through the veins of music. Scales are the backbone of music. Scales is the oxygen that breathes through music. Scales is the most important thing in the world of music. And when I practice scales, I take 3 months to work with them. And I've been working with them for many years. I usually start with the first quarter of the year, January through the end of March, with natural minor scales. From April to the end of June, I go through the major scales. From July to the end of September, I go through the harmonic minor scales. And from October to the end of December, I work with melodic minors. Now, next year, on Thursday, I'm gonna start implementing a new exercise within scales with the natural minor scales. And I'll talk a little bit about that into the future. But if you have a chance, if you happen to see this video before the year ends, I urge you to start practicing the minor scales. And now, I would love for you to check my videos on scales, because that can kind of give you some guidance on how to go about it. But I'm not gonna have time to mention all that today. I'll just drop it on the description. You can click on the videos for that. But begin the natural minor scales starting this January, and try to get all the scales learned from A through G. And then when you hit April, you can start the major scales. And then when you hit July, you can start the harmonic minors. And when you start October, you can start with the melodic minors. This is the important aspect about the year ending, is that you have a fresh new year. You can begin practicing scales for the next 3 months, starting on January with the natural minor scales. And if you think about it, why natural minor scales? Because you begin on the A note. And psychologically, I think that gives anyone a sense of an established beginning of a new regimen, and if you start on the A minor scale has no sharps, no flats. So it's kind of like starting on a C major scale, only cooler. And it makes more sense to begin on the A note rather than on the C note. So practice the minor scale starting this January. You have 24 hours to do so. Today is 31st, so I'll leave it with that. And let me summarize so we don't forget, because I'm sure you're very busy. It is New Year's Eve, and if you happen to see this video, I am so happy that you might have made it to the end, because I do want to say thank you for your attention all through the videos that I've done. It means a lot to me to see my little numbers go up. Well, let me finish it off. Let me summarize before I say thanks. First, be patient and add structure to your practice. Try not to go too fast, and never sacrifice form and technique for speed. 2, use the metronome always, forever, until the end of time. Use the metronome. And 3, practice scales like your life depends on it. Like if it's oxygen to you. Scales are so important that if you don't practice scales, you will suck. And I don't want you to suck. So now, what are my plans? I'm gonna be practicing the minor scales starting on January in a new manner. I'll make a video about that. I'm also I got my new keyboard. I mentioned that on my last video. I did got my new keyboard, so now I'm just adapting to it because it is fully weighted, and I love it. I love this new piano. So I'm gonna be making some piano content. Let's say sometime in the first quarter of next year, and I'm still gonna be uploading my busking videos because that's generally what I am good at. I like performing live, but a lot of my videos are still backtracked from the ones from this year, 2025. So I would, it would mean a lot to me to just have them be heard. But I don't want to take much of your time. It is the end of the year. It is December 31st. So thank you for watching all my videos. It means a lot to me, and in the future I can always look back at these videos and say, hey, look, this is where I used to make these videos at. Who knows what the future will bring for us and me. But I want to say thank you for all of your attention, and I'm looking forward on keep doing this for as long as it makes sense to me to do so. Enjoy your New Year's Eve, and if you happen to watch this at midnight, let's count it off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Subscribe and Happy New Year's. Thank you for watching.